Greetings. I'm Michael O'Connor, along with Father Moses, and thanks for joining us at the well. Child abuse is a very devastating topic, and it's especially devastating when you think about it being done within your own church by people that you've grown to trust. Father Moses began his vocational journey during the time it really hit. So what was that like? I mean, to enter into a priesthood that was under severe attack because of all the news going out.
Abuse cases were coming out and they were publishing it not only on television but also on newspaper. And people in my village, in my town, in my country, Belize, were hearing about it. And at that was the same time when I was discerning. And somehow I did not get good support from family members, especially my brothers and my siblings, my sisters and my brothers. They were like, "Do you really want to join priesthood? Have you heard what is going on?" I told them, "Yes, I have heard and I have read, but that doesn't mean I cannot join religious life." What came to mind to me is that if I am joining religious life, it's for a purpose to serve God. I don't care about who has joined and perhaps fall into that sin of abusing or causing that abuse, even though it did not reflect good on priests. But at the same time, I said, I will serve God with all my heart, with all my love, and I will try to do the best I can and pray for those people who have done the sin for towards the church, towards the people. So my point to my family is that if others have done it, it's not me, and I'm not going to pay for their sins. So that gave them like a little sense of okay, okay. But I noticed that they were not in full support with my vocation. But even then, I prayed a lot. I asked God to help me. I went to spiritual direction. I went to my counselor and I seek for these advices that I need. And I felt comfortable and I really joined. In the year 2004, I came to St. Pat's in Kankakee, and I was a novice with Brother John. So I did my full year of novitiate, and that was the most happiest and the most beautiful time of my life
Mm.
in seeking out what Jesus was all about and what I wanted to do for him as a Viatorian. So I believe that people who really want to serve the Lord, people who really want to go to priesthood, there is no um, hurdle that they cannot jump or go under if they really want to serve the Lord. That it doesn't matter who is out there who has done a lot of harm to the church, but you can do good, and that is what counts a lot. So, to any person who wants to join religious life, either be female or male, I would advise them that if you really need to serve God, do it with all your heart, and He will always be with you. And He will give you that courage, that energy to serve Him with all your love.
That's great. You know, it's awful enough that abuse took place. But if that abuse was also responsible for good men like you from keeping from the priesthood, that would have been another terrible thing. And I heard somewhere someone had said, I'm not going to let those people keep me. It's my church. It's my church. It's not theirs. And so if you give up that church, then you're having them win, really, in a way.
That is true because when I became a priest, that I went to different churches and there were people out there who would always point and say, "There goes the priest, the abusers." But you know what? I never gave up. I never turned my face down. I always had my chin up to look at people that there are really good people who really want to serve. And that doesn't keep us from doing anything for our church where we belong. And a sense of belonging is that what I felt in my heart that I belong to God and I will serve God. So Yes.
That's beautiful. Now, here's the question. I know people that have stopped going to church because they still felt that that trust has been broken. So, what do you have to say to them that might have them reconsider about coming back into the church? Not that they've left, loving God or anything like that, but they just have a hard time stepping through those doors. What would you say to them?
I would say to them that we are a community. We belong to God. So a sense of belonging should tell them that we belong together as a community. Yes, there have been things that the church perhaps has done, like in the case of abuse, like in the case of COVID. And there are many people who are not returning to church. But there's one thing, it's beautiful when you believe in the sense of belonging because you belong to God, and God, through the baptism call that we have, we become disciples. And it is beautiful to be a disciple, to do something for God. And for people who are not coming to church, I would say, we are praying for you. I pray for you every day that God will touch your heart. Know that there are people who are praying for you, even though you do not come. But you need to know that people are praying for you and that you are missing something beautiful. You are missing something special, the sense of belonging to God. So I would invite you to come back, no matter what. You belong to a community, which is the church, and you belong to God.
If you don't have more than one person, it's really not a community, is it?
Exactly.
So let's bring that community together and welcome them back in. We certainly understand the pain,
Yes, we do.
so we hope they can come back.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Keep praying, keep listening, and God bless.
Thank you.